Well, Merry Christmas. I know you're probably not listening to podcasts today, and I completely understand that. But we are always doing new episodes every Monday, so I didn't want to miss that schedule, and I wanted to upload something for you so that when you have time to come back and listen, you have a new episode to come back to. And I want you to prioritize the time with your loved ones, and hopefully you are able to spend some time with them, whether it's today or a different day, to be able to celebrate and make some special memories. That is one of the best times of the year for most people, and I know it's really hard for some others. And this this episode today is, no matter where you are in life, it's going to help you as you prepare for 2024. So when you have a quiet moment to yourself, I want you to grab your pen and paper, grab a nice hot cup of coffee or cocoa or tea or whatever's your jam, and sit by like your twinkling Christmas tree or a nice warm fireplace, or even in your favorite cozy chair, wherever you are comfortable. Grab those supplies, get cozy, and then let's sit down and prepare ourselves for what is to come and be ready to dream while we welcome in a brand new year. Are you ready to stop the chaos, the stress, the overwhelm that's filling your life? I'm Renae Matt, and together you and I are going to build simple routines that are going to change your life. When you put these habits into practice, you're going to be able to organize your life in a way where you can be there for your family, pay off your debt, save money, your house can stay organized, you don't have to stress about what's for dinner, and you still get time for yourself. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the Routine Advantage Podcast. So today's episode is actually a really special one to just kind of have that like deep breath at the end of 2023 and be able to go into 2024 knowing what's ahead, or what you're at least looking to accomplish in 2024, and know what you are hoping to expect. So this process actually came to me a little bit by accident. We had gone to church on Saturday night, and typically we go Sunday morning, but everything had been so crazy busy, and so we decided to go Saturday night so that we could sleep in on Sunday. And I had set my alarm for, I think it was like 9:30 or something like that, and that never happens. Like, my sleeping in is 6 a.m. and I'm normally up by 5:20, 5:30ish. We had gone to bed and I was really tired, and I woke up and I looked at my alarm clock and it was 8:38. So I'm like, okay, well, at least I'm up. I got a good night's sleep. I'll just get up and go and journal a little bit before Tony gets up and before Hank gets up and I have to walk the dog. So I went downstairs and I brought my journal with me, and I started to go through this whole process, and Hank didn't come down, and so I just kind of powered through, and I was really tired, but I just kept going. And the more I did it, the more I was like on a roll, and I just powered through. And before I knew it, like, a lot of time had passed. And then I looked at my clock on the oven, and it was 6:30 at that point. And I was like, what the heck just happened? I don't know what was going on with my alarm clock, but somehow it got changed. And so I'm pretty sure I got up closer to 5 a.m. that morning. So we totally could have gone to church on Sunday instead of Saturday night, but it didn't matter anyway. So I went through this process, and it actually took me about 3 hours total by the time I went from start to finish. But the way that I felt afterwards was so incredibly peaceful, and it makes me really excited to start the new year. And so I knew I had to bring it to you and share it with you, because this is something that can really help just kind of break down your thoughts and get everything onto paper, so that you don't have to be swirling those things in your head and not knowing exactly what to do, or feeling like there's a lot to accomplish in 2024 and you just don't know where to start. This is going to help you do that. And even if you don't think that you have a lot to go for in 2024, then this is a good way to kind of create some things to shoot for so that you know what you can prepare yourself for as we enter the new year. So, what I'm going to bring to you is another acronym because we like acronyms around here. And this one, very fittingly, is DREAM. So, we're going to start with the number one, which is the D, which is dream. Shocking, right? It's very creative. So, the first thing I want you to do is now that you have your nice, cozy spot, got some quiet time and a pen and paper or a journal or whatever you're going to be using, I want you to just start dreaming. And this is like things that you want to accomplish in the new year. And whether this is like a one-time goal or something you want to begin implementing, you just put everything you can possibly think of onto paper that you wish you could do or achieve in 2024. So this could be a specific goal. Maybe it is visiting a certain place or going on a certain vacation or just taking a vacation in general. What moments do you want to have? Maybe it's a date night. Maybe it's putting specific routines in place, whether they are daily routines or weekly or even quarterly. Maybe it is knowing that you want to start implementing a meal planning routine or your home routine. Maybe it is scheduling in, date nights every other Thursday or monthly date nights or certain family nights. I'm just trying to kind of give you some starting points or some ideas, but this is your dream list. You can do anything you want, but really take your time to sit down and just let your heart spill onto the page and just look at anything you want to do in personal life, in business life, whatever it is that is in your life where you want to be part of it. This is your time to just dream your dreams and put them on paper. Another idea is maybe even to focus on getting off of social media more and maybe taking weekends off of social media, or every Wednesday night it's no phones and it's game night with your family. Whatever that looks like, you want to just think of anything you want to accomplish. Maybe it's hitting a huge revenue number in your business, or just selling a certain number of products if you sell your own products, or hitting a promotion that you've been really working for. Anything that you can possibly think of that you want to achieve in 2024 goes in this first activity. And this can take you 3 minutes to write everything down. This can take you an hour to just sit there and ruminate on these ideas and thoughts in your head and just spill them out onto paper. This does not mean that putting them down means this is your goal and you have to accomplish these things. This is literally just dreaming. And then number two, once you get that done, number two is the R, and it is review. So you're going to look at your list and you're going to look through everything and really think about each one of those things that you wrote down on that page. And then I want you to circle the top 3 to 5 things that are most important to you. These are your highest priority to make sure that you do these things in 2024. They can be simple, they can be extreme, they can be whatever you want them to be, but I want you to circle the top 3 to 5 things that you really are setting your mind to achieving or to implementing, or whatever it is that you have on your paper. Once you select those, then I want you to go to number 3, which is the E, and it's expectations. So not only do we have a dream to have these 3 to 5 things, but you need to know how to achieve those. And if it's a one-time goal, it's going to be a little bit different than if it's something that you are implementing daily or weekly or quarterly or anything like that. But it's time to set your expectations with those goals. Does your goal require money? Is it something that you need to add a sinking fund to your budget for and save for it? Is it something you need to add to your monthly budget? Is it something that you don't need any money for, but maybe it's time, maybe it's you need to allot a certain amount of time every day or week or month to accomplish this goal? What is it going to take to get to what you want? So do this and set your expectations and write your list of everything that is going to need to happen that you can think of at the moment. Like, you might miss some things and that's okay, but everything you can think of at the moment, take those 3 to 5 things and then just write a list underneath each one, and grab another piece of paper if you need to, but take those 3 to 5 things and just set your expectations for each of those things and really brainstorm what it's going to take to achieve that. If there's a time frame, write down the deadline. When is the due date? When is your goal date? And how often are you going to need to check in on your goal? So if you have a goal date of going on vacation by August of 2024, you know that you're going to need to save some money. So you need to know about how much you're going to spend on this vacation. And then you need to calculate how many months you have to save for that vacation. And then from there, you can divide that, take the amount you need and divide it by the number of months you have. And that is the amount you need to save every month to be ready for that vacation, to be able to pay for it. And that is what you'll do with each of these goals. And if you need to set that monthly budget amount to go into a sinking fund, that is what you need to do. And then that monthly fund is going to get checked on. So every time you get paid or you update your budget, then that is your cue that you need to check in on your vacation fund. And you need to check in on that goal to see if you are accomplishing that amount, or if you are lagging behind a little bit, or maybe you are ahead of the goal and you're saving enough to know that you're going to have enough by that time frame. So all these things that you are looking at, you're going to look at all those different steps. And so you want to know the time frame, you need to know how often you need to check in on it, and then you need to know if it needs to any money or any of those different types of goals. If maybe it is setting a goal for like my podcast. So maybe it's a download number goal, and I actually set a download number goal. But what I did is I took my full goal of how many downloads I want for my podcast, and then I broke it down by month of how many I would need to have each month to hit that big goal. And then I was able to break it down by month and quarter. So I not only have my big annual goal, but I have a quarterly goal. And then within each quarter, I have a month goal. So each month, Clara and I, my sister and intern assistant, we can look at those numbers and see if we're hitting the numbers that we need to each month to reach our big goal and where we're sitting in that time frame. So this works for business. It works for personal life. It is really nice to just brain dump everything in underneath each of those 3 to 5 things that your dream goal is, and to really lay out your plan of what you need to make that happen. And then we'll go into number 4, which is the A, and it's action. So not only do you have the information gathered to create your plan, but this is the time that you actually put action behind your plan. So what time do you need to check in on these things? Now you're going to go and you're going to put it in your calendar. You are going to plan out your check-in dates, your review dates, your goal dates, all those different things you're going to plug into your calendar. Now, I use a kind of hybrid method between my Google Calendar and my paper planner, and I will do an episode of that at some point here soon, hopefully, to share with you what I do to see if that will help you. But if you are an electronic calendar user, then you're going to want to plug in your goal date. And then you also are going to want to plug in your check-in dates so that when it pops up on the calendar to remind you to check in on this goal and to see where you're sitting with your goal and your plans to make sure that you're on track. And that if you need to adjust something, you can adjust it now before you get too far and then you forget about it until all of a sudden that vacation is here and it's a month away and you haven't even started saving because things have gotten busy and you kind of forgot about saving. Like, we don't want that to happen with any of your goals. So you want to make sure that you are actually planning in the time to check in. And I have heard so many messages about people struggling with consistency on things that they want to accomplish. And this is a really good way of doing it, is to make sure that you not only have the plan in place, but you also have it set up to remind you when you need to check in on these things so that time doesn't pass while you forget about it until you feel like it's too late to do your plan. So it's really important to set yourself up for success right away. And this is a good way to do that. You just want to look through on what you need to do to make your dreams a reality and plug in those reminders wherever works best for you to be able to actually take the action that is needed to accomplish that goal and reach your dreams for that particular thing. And the last one is number 5, which is the M, and this is monitor. So this is keeping up with the actions that you scheduled and continuing to check back and to use those reminders to monitor your success and your progress in each of these items. And when you follow that pattern or that roadmap that you set up for yourself, you will find that by the time you reach your goal date or your due date, that is going to be the time where you have reached that goal. And even if it's not, where maybe you miss it by a little bit, you are probably going to be so much more ahead than if you wouldn't have done this beforehand. So this is a really important thing to continue to monitor your progress and to set yourself up for success by keeping it simple and keeping it very straightforward. You don't want to get all of these different plans in place and make it really stressful so that it's hard to keep up with. But having these little checkpoints throughout the year will make it so much more doable for you to actually reach the goals that you are trying to reach. So as a recap, the acronym was DREAM. So it's the 5 steps to go through. So number 1, you're going to dream and get everything out onto paper. Number 2, you're going to review and choose those top 3 to 5 things that are most important to you. Number 3 is the E, and that is the expectations and really laying out your plan of what is needed to accomplish these goals. Number 4 is the A, and that is the action, putting the steps into place that are going to help you hit those achievements, set up that roadmap to get you to your goal. And number 5 is the M, which is monitor, going and making sure that you see those checkpoints and it's in a place that you know you're going to see it so that you can monitor your progress towards your goal all throughout the year or whenever it is needed to accomplish that goal. I know when I sat down and did this for myself, I felt so much peace and also excitement. And so I hope you feel the same way and you experience that same feeling when you are looking at your year ahead. And even if you need to get up at 5 a.m. in the morning, maybe that is what you need to do to be able to have that quiet time to be able to really focus on this. But even if that is not the case and you sleep longer, I hope that you get enough rest. I know it was really nice for me to be able to have the time to sit and do this, but I completely understand if your life situation is not the same where maybe you can't get up at that time and have, 3 hours to sit in silence and have that coffee and do this, but make it work for you. So whether it is, setting your kids up with an activity and going and sitting in a different room while they're, enjoying their Christmas toys, or maybe it is having them go and have a play date with somebody while you get some quiet time to really sit and think about this. Or maybe you and your spouse do it together too. Like this could be anything you want it to be. It's just kind of a guideline and a roadmap for you to be able to outline what it is that you want to happen in 2024 and to be able to help you go through that so that you can get it out onto paper so that you can really accomplish some truly great things in the year ahead. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you have a wonderful and merry and blessed Christmas, and I will see you on the next episode. Did you love that episode or learn something useful? If so, would you do me a huge favor? My goal is to grow this podcast and help as many women as I can break free from the overwhelm so they can truly enjoy their life. The best way for me to do this is for you to leave a 5-star written review on your podcast app and to share this episode with a friend or in your Instagram stories. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.